well, the enterprise market is a very big market. So what Dell in general has done from the start is making things simpler. So simplify IT, simplify parts of the IT business, and have an end-to-end strategy. And now over the last couple of years, we've acquired so much intellectual property that we can now in many fields have a true end-to-end solution based on commodity hardware, software, and services. And that's in all our fields of the IT world is our strategy. So also in my field of expertise, the high-performance computing field, we changed and shaped the HPC market by providing solutions based on the commodity hardware and on a rich ecosystem of partners.
So what is the share of high-performance computing in your business, in Dell's business now and in the future?
Okay, so that's a very good question. The high-performance compute market itself, it's about 1/3 of all server hardware ends up in a computing environment worldwide. So that's a huge market. And for within that market, so 1/3 of the total hardware business, there's the real supercomputers, or the big systems in the big national labs, and then there's smaller solutions way down to workstations, which is the basis of high-performance computing. In that workstation area, we're, depending on the geography, we're market leader or second best. And in that midsection of the departments of a university or department of a car manufacturer, that kind of work, we have a fair market share. It depends on the region whether we have between 10 and 30% of that market. In the real high end, so in the real supercomputing market, we have very little presence, and that's because it's huge systems with huge risks and a very low margin, very heavy competition from IBM and Cray. We don't compete in that area at all, even though we now have the 7th largest computing system in the world that's located at our partner, the Texas Advanced Computing Center in Texas. It's number 7 biggest supercomputer in the world, based on commodity hardware.
Could you also tell us about Dell's position in all these 3 areas, supercomputers, mid-market workstations, in Russia and worldwide?
Or maybe Europe only?
That's a tough question. Yeah, so in workstations, because well, you could say over the last 30 years, Dell's been moving from just selling desktops and then moving higher up in the food chain in the IT business. So it's very natural from us to move from the lower spectrum of the HPC business higher and higher and higher up. So in that lower layer, the workstations, we've been in that business for well over 25 years. So that's obviously where we have a very good footprint, and we are a well-established company that sells workstations. Over Europe, I don't really know exactly, but I think we are in Europe as a whole, we are market leader in workstations, and for Russia itself, I should have checked it before I came here, of course, but no. So in workstations, we are a market leader in Europe, and in Russia, I think we're one of the market leaders, so we might be 2nd or 3rd place, but we're quite high there. And on the other spectrum, so the real supercomputers, we have almost no presence, save every now and then we have a big system like Texas Advanced Compute Center, number 7, and in that middle area, the footprint in Russia is rising. So I think 10 years ago we had no presence here in Russia, but we did have already in the rest of Europe, and now it's rising. So we see much interest from partner organizations here that want to, where they previously did high-performance computing with other vendors, are now going to Dell, partly because of our strategy, because we have a very open kind of strategy. There's no lock-in component that you have to buy a Dell addition to your Dell cluster. It can work with everything, and we leave a lot of room for partners also to add value to what we do. And I think that message is coming across now, and that causes our market share here in Russia to rise. But there's about 20 hardware vendors competing here, so I think we're at 5 to 10% here in the HPC market.
What is the future of HPC, and where HPC can help the customers to develop their business?
So many things that we are doing today are influenced by science, of course, and more parts of science are using computerized simulations and calculations to make better things for the future. So what we see, for instance, well, if you look at a car, what it looked like 20 years ago and what it looked like now, they are much more aerodynamic. The engines are much better. All of that progress has been achieved by science, and most of it, the vast majority, by simulation and calculations. Also in the area of design of drugs and of treatment of diseases, the majority of progress that we are achieving in that field today is by computer simulations and calculations. For instance, Dell is very active with some universities that do genomic research, and we have an appliance especially for that market, the Dell Genomic Data Analysis Platform, so that those institutes are starting to analyze genomic data in order to predict which medicine will work better on which patient. That is now moving from the academic world onto the normal hospital. So that's a major thing in that field of science, where things that are now happening in the laboratory are moving to general hospitals. So maybe in 10 years, if you got a flu, you go to your doctor and then they pull your genome and they can exactly calculate within an hour which type of flu that you have. So apart from giving you a broad spectrum antibiotic against something, they can give you some medicine exactly aimed at that particular disease. So that's just one of the examples where science, helped by HPC, is changing our world. And I can probably go on for about 2 or 3 or 4 hours giving you examples of where computer simulations and computer calculating power is shaping our future every day.